Hey there, hi everyone. It's Melanie here from Stamp with Melanie. Okay, looks like I am live in the right place. So that's great. Okay. This evening I have just one card that I'm going to show you. And this card is going to relate to a workshop by mail that I recently introduced. And so, I'm going to show you all of the cards that are included in the workshop packet. And I'm also going to show you a bonus card that you'll be able to make with your leftover supplies and just one or two more additions from your own stash. First thing I want to show you, though, is this. This is a picture of the cover of the new September to December mini catalog. Demonstrators got their first look at this just a couple of hours ago. There are lots of goodies inside that I know you're going to love. I'm finalizing the list of people that I'm going to send catalogs to. So when I put up the edited version of tonight's live afterwards, I'm going to add a link where you can request to be added to my mailing list for this catalog. Time is short, though, because I do need to have that turned in within the next few days. So it's about 68 pages of pure goodness that you're going to love. Okay. So last week, I announced to my email subscribers and on my Facebook page that I'm offering a workshop by mail for Christmas in July. And the workshop is featuring the products in the Sophisticated Sled bundle. This is a photopolymer stamp set with 11 images or phrases, and also a set of coordinating dies. And I've really, really enjoyed working with this and designing these projects. So, if you don't have this bundle, I would recommend ordering it before the end of the day while you could still get free shipping. And now just a really quick look at the 4 projects that are included in the packet. So when you get your materials, your workshop materials, you will get all the supplies to make 2 each of the 4 projects, minus inks and adhesives. So I can't send you any stamped images per Stampin' Up! Rules, and you'll need to supply your own adhesives. But everything else will be sent for you. Now, when I show you the die cut images that feature the dies in the Sophisticated Sled bundle, you are responsible for those, but there are a couple of other dies that I've used or embossing folders that I've used, and those will be done for you. So you're not expected to go out and spend like hundreds of dollars on supplies to make these. I'm going to send you everything you'll need except for the bundle, the stamped images, and the adhesives. Okay, so here's the first one. And this has a stamped sled that's been colored with blends. And then here's the second one. This one's probably, well, I don't know, it's hard to say. I like them all. Here's the third one. And then this is the fourth. So this one's a little different than the others, but it's all using the elements from the bundle. Now tonight's card that we're going to make is a bonus card that uses these same products. And like I said, you can use everything you'll need minus a couple of items. Like you won't get the card stock to include this card, but I'm sure you have red card stock at home. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've folded it in half to create the card base. Then I have a crumb cake layer, and the crumb cake layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I used this really awesome pre-embossed wood texture specialty paper from the annual catalog to create this for this white panel. So it's pre-embossed with the wood grain. Now, if you don't have this paper, you can use the wood grain embossing folder for a similar effect. And this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. First thing we're going to do for this card is I'm going to die cut a sled. And what I'm going to do is die cut it from the middle of this crumb cake layer because it's going to be covered up and nobody's going to be able to see there's a hole in the middle of it. So I'm going to grab my die. And it's this one that I need. So let me go ahead and run this through the embossing folder, or the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So here's our piece of cardstock after I've die cut it. You can see there is a hole in it, but you can't tell it after it's layered on the card. And then here's my die cut sled. So I'm going to get these slats out of here. This sled is just so adorable. And I love that the die embosses it as it's cutting it out. And then for this sled, I'm going to use a piece of gold foil and die cut some runners. Okay, got all my little bits out of there. Oh, good grief. So let's see. Here are the runners. So I'm just going to die cut those out of a piece of gold foil. And if you don't already have gold foil at home, you will be getting a piece in your workshop kit when you order it. All right. So there's the runners. And let's go ahead and put our sled together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tombow and just add a little bit of glue on each of these. And really, I mean just a little bit of glue. And then I'm going to line it up so that the holes are aligned with the bars. So the holes on the top piece are aligned with the bars on the runners. There we go. So it looks like that was how your sled that you had as a child, that's how they were assembled. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little more Tombow here on the top rail and add my last sled piece here. Does that look like the sled of your childhood? It does. It looks like mine. Okay, so let's set that aside for a minute. And now we're going to make a wreath. And for this wreath, I took the solid wreath base and I cut it out of Mossy Meadow cardstock. And then I cut 2 of the bow pieces out of one of the pieces of Designer Series paper. This one from that, let's see what the name of it is. From the Season of Green and Gold paper pack. And I like that because it gives me some variegation in my leaves so that they're not all one color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few drops of Tombow on the back of this and then layer them. There will be some crossover at the top, but we're going to cover that with a bow. So this is what kind of the look we're going for. It'll look better after it's glued. So again, I just need a small amount of glue just to hold it. We don't want to go crazy with it. Okay, and then we do have a little bit of flexibility, so we can curve this around, make it look like it truly belongs there. Okay, there's that. Now let's do the other side. And remember, I'm going to have some overlap, but I am going to make sure at the bottom that that is minimal. And then we'll go for the bigger overlap where it's going to have a bow on top of it. Okay. All right. Oh, very cool. That looks good. Okay, let's put the Tombow away for a minute. Now I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm going to make a double bow. And this we're going to put at the top of our wreath. Yeah, that looks good. Cut off these extras. Might trim it down a little more. Okay, now I'm going to grab a glue dot. And these glue dots are, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them like this. These are extras from Paper Pumpkin kits or kits from the kit collection. I just save them because they're perfect. Okay. You need to get out of here. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. Okay, let's put this card together. Now remember, this crumb cake layer has a hole in it from where we where we die cut out our sled, but nobody will ever know. I really, really, really love the look of crumb cake and real red and white for a Christmas card. I just think it looks gorgeous together. And okay. All right, now I am going to add some dimensionals to the back of my sled. And I'm going to use the mini dimensionals because some of these pieces aren't real big. And I don't want them to show through. Like there. I'm going to move this one down a little bit. Some of them I have a big enough space where it's not going to matter. Others, not so much, so we're just going to be on the cautious side here and use the small ones. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to put this right in the middle. And I'm going to attach my wreath to the sled with a glue dot. So, here they are. Oh, come on. There we go. Well, I don't know where... Oh, there it is. Thought I lost it. And if you're worried about it coming off, you could use a couple of glue dots to adhere it. Okay, and I think, you know what, let's add one at the bottom here too. Because on my sample I made, I noticed the wreath kind of moved around a little. This will keep that from happening. All right, there we go. Good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to grab a piece of real red cardstock and we're going to emboss a sentiment. On the sample I made, I embossed in white. And then afterwards I thought, oh, I should have done it in gold. So we're going to do it in gold this time, and then you guys can look at it and see what you think. So use the embossing buddy. Make sure I grab gold. Stay. Okay. And I'm going to use the Good Tidings stamp. Okay, and my Versamark. So it's upside down. Now, when Stampin' Up! Came out with the new WOW embossing folders, or not embossing folders, embossing powders, I went out and ordered them because I wanted to see the difference. And I have to say, the difference is pretty remarkable. The WOW embossing powders are much brighter and they make a much nicer image than the old powders that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. If you already have some in your stash, by all means, do not replace them. But going forward, if you need to, these Wow powders are really, really nice. It doesn't look like much yet, but it will. Okay. Let me heat it up. Look at that color pop. Really pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to use this die from the Something Fancy dies to cut this out. If you don't have this die, you can just use your paper trimmer, trim it down to a strip, and then slant cut the edges. But I have the die, so I'm going to use it. Okay. Look how pretty. All right, now that looks a little crooked because I didn't do it right, but good enough. It'll work. Let's put a glue dot on the back of here on this side, and then I'm going to grab another one of those mini dimensionals for the other side, because my sled is lifted with dimensionals. So I'm going to put my sentiment right at the bottom of the sled. Part of it, I'm going to replace that. That'll drive me crazy. Anyhow, part of it is attached with the glue dot so that it's all even. Now, one more thing I want to do with this card is add some embellishments. I was using for this workshop and all of these projects these dots. They're really cute. Cherry, cobbler, and pearl adhesive backberries. But they're out of stock. With free shipping, they sold out right away. So I went to Plan B. And now I'm going to use the iridescent basic pearls, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to color them. And that's actually one of the things I like the best about these pearls, is you can color them to use whatever project you need them for. So you just color away. They dry just like basically instantly because it's an alcohol-based ink. I'm going to do some bigs and some littles. All right. And then I'm going to take the smalls and I'm going to add them to my wreath. So technically you could use as many pearls as you wanted. You could make berries in groups of 3 like this set is. Or you could just put 1 or 2 around. I just like to add a little color to it. All right, so there's our wreath. And as promised, here's the one with the white embossing. So which one do you think you like better? Do you like the gold, assuming it was straight, or the white? The choice is yours. You know, you can do it whichever way you want. I think it turned out really cute, though. I love this as an alternate project that you can make with the, you know, the supplies that you're already going to get in your kit. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this card and seeing some of the pretty features of this Sophisticated Sled bundle. And like I said, I'll post the link for the new catalog in the edited replay on both Facebook and YouTube, and you can look for it there. And you can also message me if you're interested in signing up for the workshop. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now.